Hey, beautiful people. Good morning. It is your girl, Nigel Chloe, and I am here with my episode 12 of my lock journey. Can you believe it? Episode 12. Episode 12 is one of my favorite episodes. Why? Because May makes 2 years your girl has been in the lock game. So, 2 years. 2 years has come by so quick. And I wanted to come on here and just celebrate because usually with my lock episodes, I'm like doing just giving you guys like a brief follow through with me on going with me to my loctician and things of that nature. But I wanted to do something special for you guys this time and come on live. So if you're watching, you can put any questions that you have, even after if you're not on right now. If you have any questions for later on that I could answer for you, I'd be more than happy to do so. I'm going to have a special guest joining us soon. Her name is Victorimade. She has her own YouTube channel as well. She's more of a lifestyle and all those things of that nature. So you're more than welcome to subscribe to her channel afterwards. And we're just going to be having girl talk, girl chat. Since it's early morning, I don't have any wine. Your girl's going to be drinking some Capri Sun for you. Mm. But I wanted to put a little poll for you guys. And if you got on, you can. So I'm going to put a poll. Would you rock? Would you rock blocks? That's going to be the poll question. You can put a yes or no, and I'm going to put that on there. So, would you rock locks? Is that something you would do? So, if you're on and you're watching, see if you would rock locks. I would like to know how many of you guys would. So, like I said, it's been 2 years. I started my lock journey May of 2022, and it has been great. I think is one of the best decisions I ever made. Mind you, if you've been following me from my beginning journey, I this is my second set of locks. I my first time I started locks was before that, and I had those locks for 5 years, but they were too thick, they were too big, and your girl loves walking wearing wigs. And as they were getting fuller, as they were getting bigger, I couldn't rock them, and I didn't like the size as much because as big as they were pulling. And then you can notice I told you guys I have a history of alopecia, so you can notice my thing in the middle a lot more when they were bigger. So I had like when I unlocked them, you can unlock your locks. I unlocked my locks and I started with Microlocs this time around. And that's what I wanted to come and just come on here and talk to you guys about. Like when you want to start locks, there's so many factors that not many factors, like three main factors. I wrote down at least three main things you want to kind of think about before you start your locks. Um, Number one, what size do you want? What size locks do you want? Like I said, I did them big, large, and I didn't. They were nice. They were good. Like I said, if you watched my previous episodes, you'll see I inserted pictures in there of how my other locks looked before. They were like so much more thicker, but they were beautiful. I didn't have any color or anything. I tried coloring them myself. It was a huge fail. What size do you want? Do you want giant locks? Do you want micro locks? Do you want, because I have micro locks, do you want sister locks? Like I said, sister locks is something I don't know much about. It's a whole different ball game on its own. You see, like mine, they're small, but sister locks are smaller, and you have to go to a specialized sister locks loctician to do that because there are people that have licenses and get trained to how to do sister locks. So I personally don't know anybody who's done sister locks by themselves. I don't know anybody who did them by themselves. Most people go to somebody and then worst case scenario, they maintain them. So taking into consideration, thinking about your size. So I did research before I started my locks again, this time with micro locks. I was watching people who did micro lock videos. YouTube has everything. And I saw what they were saying, the size that they did. And mine were DIY micro locks. Me and my best friend, shout out to my girl Sylvia, she hit her 2 year game too. We helped each other. We start our locks, and this is where we've been since. So knowing what size you want is a huge factor when considering what if you want to do locks. Consideration number two: how do you want to start your locks? How do you want to start your locks? Do you want to do two strand twist, which is what I did, or do you want to do the coiling method? Now, keep into consideration with it depends on your hair texture too. Depend on the type of hair texture you have. The first time when I did my locks, I started off with the coiling method, and what I noticed, it took longer for it to actually lock. It took longer for it to lock. But when I did it the second time, this time with my micro locks, I did with the two-strand twist method, and within 6 months, I'll say within 6 months is when I started noticing the budding, and it was started to become thicker and form into actual locks themselves. So think into consideration the type of hair texture you have, and also, yeah, your hair texture makes a huge difference. So like I said, the coiling method, in my opinion, takes a little longer to form. And consideration number three that I want you to take into consideration: if you have permed hair and you're thinking about getting locks, you can either cut your hair to start all over, or you can let your permed hair grow out, and then that way, when you are starting your locks, you have a good amount length. Like I said, when I took off my locks the first time. When I took off my locks, I unlocked them. You can't unlock your locks. It's a tedious process. It took me about 10 to 12 days to unlock my locks. I had about probably 80 something locks at my first time, and it took me about 12 days, like a 10 to 12 days to unlock them with a fine tooth comb and some water to keep it moist. You are going to lose some length because basically locks is just your dead hair growing, because your hair follicles do fall out, and that's why your dead hair just falls into itself and just grows. That's pretty much it. So you're not gonna get as much length as, like, right now. If I was to unlock my locks, it wouldn't be this long. And I went to my loctician yesterday. We got your girl looking fresh for you, looking fresh. Let me see if I can turn around so you can see the back too. We did a little updo, and she spiral curled the the front part of it. So I wanted something cute, simple, nice for the summer, and that's what we did. But like I was saying about your hair, if you have permanent hair, how you want to start it, and so on and so forth. But that's definitely something to take into consideration. If you already have natural hair, starting for you should not be a problem. You have to take into consideration your hair texture and how you want to start it. If you want to coil it, or if you want to two-strand twist it. Um, what else did I want to talk about? Yes, most importantly, be patient. Having locks is it's a process. You have to be patient. You have to. You just have to be patient because it's not going to just happen overnight. I did start off with some hair, so I think that's probably why my length looks longer, but you have to be patient because you're going to go through that ugly phase stage. You're going to go through the stage where, like, it doesn't look like locks. It doesn't look, and then, but you just have to be. And like for me in the beginning, when I was going through that so-called ugly phase, to where they were just looking very, I don't know how to describe it. I just didn't like the way they were looking because they didn't look like locks. They just looked like old twist. And so, but when during that stage, because they were smaller, I was able to rock some um, wigs at the time. So I rocked my wigs, and I loved my wigs. And I still rock wigs now. And that's one of the things I love about Microloc. So if you're, because sometimes you want to change, sometimes you want to wear that Beyonce hair, and sometimes you want to look like Shaka Khan. I'm every woman. It's only me. Anything you want now, baby. So when I want to look like Shaka Khan, I have my Shaka Khan Afro wig. I have my Beyonce Let It Flow wig. I even have a braid wig, you guys. And I on top of my, so right now, like for example, I have my locks. So I'm gonna rock these locks until they look unlockable. And being I can't see the parts and everything, they don't look so neat. Then I'll start putting on my wigs. But those are some of the things I wanted to talk about with when you think about having starting your locks. And yeah, I definitely am glad that I started the journey. I'm very, very glad that it worked out the way it's supposed to. So Is there anybody on? Let's see. On yesterday, just another positive note with the with my locks. My loctician, she noticed that my middle area, my thinning area, like she was like she was seeing some growth. She was seeing some growth, which was a good thing. So I'm like, it's not fully dead. I got little pieces, strands sticking through there. So I'm hopeful. Hopefully, I'm doing something right. So hopefully, my hair. So she put some like mint. I forgot that some menthol type of thing on it, and she just massaged that particular area to get the blood circulating, and because I just put my printer on. I don't know why I did that, but let me turn it off. We don't want nothing printing during this live stream. But we're gonna jam. Let me put the music a little bit louder, and I just want you to jam with me, celebrate with me. It's May 1st. Hey, it's May 1st. Hey, I'm 2 years in the game. 2 years in the game. It's May 1st. Hey, thank you guys. All you guys are just awesome. Like when I watch and I see like views on my videos, you know, I'm literally 23 people away from 500 subscribers. I see people watch my videos and I get excited, and I'm just like, people are taking their time to come and watch me and celebrate with me. So some of the things me and Victorimade are going to talk about is I'm going to talk to her about what made her start her journey. How long has she been locked? How did she start her luck? Because I told you, starting it takes some timing. What does her maintenance routine look like? Are there any particular products that she likes or recommends? And a pro and a con. And we'll wrap it up with her giving her a pro or a con. I don't have any go-to products that I use. For me, like my maintenance is pretty much like I don't do. I think I washed my own locks twice since I've been locked. I've only washed my locks twice by myself. Not saying I wash my locks, of course, but just twice by myself because it's a maintenance thing. So unless maybe I've been working out a lot, it's really sweaty or it's really really dirty, I'll pretty much wait until I go to my loctician to get my hair done. But the few times that I do, like in between when it does feel dry, I just get regular organic coconut oil. It comes in a block, and I just kind of melt it, rub it in, and just put it in my hair and moisturize it. That's pretty much it. And probably once or twice, I think last week for Easter, I tried to shave the sides of myself. It worked out. It did something because a lot of times I wear my hair just particular one way. So when I do that, that's what I just. I will try to make sure that side that's showing. Sorry, just okay, you guys, we are back with my girl Victorimade. I couldn't add her to the live, but you're just going to hear her voice. Like I said, when you're going live, things happen, and that's why a lot of times I stay away from lives. But I wanted to do something different and make it work. So, hey, Made, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy month of May. Thank you for joining me for the second time. I know we tried to do this earlier, it didn't work, but whatever the reason is, we're still going to celebrate this monumentous moment for me.
As we should. As we should.
All right, so I wanted to ask you first of all, how long have you been locked?
Okay. So I've been locked since December. December 1st, actually. So I did it the first weekend. So I guess this would make it 6 months now, or
From
5 6.
December
Yeah,
1st. Okay, so
the first.
January 1st, February 1st, March 1st, April 1st, May 1st. 5 months.
Yeah.
5 months. I remember my 5 month time. It was grand. So 5 months. So the next question is, what first of all made you want to start your lock journey?
Oh, so I've always wanted locks, like ever since I was younger. It was like the locks and tattoos look. I don't know. I've always thought it was cute, but I watched Black Ink when I was younger, so Duchess, and
Oh,
I mean,
Duchess.
and I did have locks when I was growing up. My parents cut it, so actually your dad
Oh,
cut
you
it.
did. Yes, you did. Oh, yeah, you did have luck.
Right. So I had locks. till I was about like 3. And also, and my parents, they're like, I was like, why did y'all cut it? They're like, because I guess I wanted it or whatever. But I always told myself I was going to get locks when I was ready.
Yeah.
So last year, December, I was like, I'm officially ready, ready.
Oh wow. That's so that's just inspiration, and it was just like a look that you've always envisioned yourself having. So I assume
Right.
since you had the locks, that means you have the tattoos too as well.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. I got that first.
So Bree, earlier I was talking to people about like things you should consider when you want to start your locks, and one of the things I was like you should consider is like what size or how do you want to start your locks. So how did you start your locks? Did you do the coiling method or the two strand method?
So I did the two-strand method, and it took me a while. Like I hit up everybody on my Instagram, anybody who has locks on my Instagram. I sent them a random DM. I was like, "Hey, I'm starting my locks. What method did you use?" Because I
Yes, I
was
remember
really,
you reaching out. Yeah, you had questions before you started. I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, I was really confused because I was like, I don't want to make a mistake. I watched a lot of videos. Some people said they started it off wrong because the sizing wasn't what they wanted.
Hmm.
Um, they would do their locks and then they would have to take it out and start all over. I was like, I don't have time for that. No. So yeah, I chose to do the two strand twist.
Okay, and then but are you happy that you did the two strand twist?
Yes, and I
Okay.
think the strand twist. Okay, no offense, you guys, but with the coils, I feel like it's not as wearable before it gets like people wear the two strand twist naturally all
Naturally,
the time.
yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like you can do the two strands, just go out, rock it like that. Because my old roommate, she has like her hair is very like curly, curly.
Yeah.
Well, not curly, curly. Um, I guess it's like a four A. So
She has
it
very
was
fine hair.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. She wasn't able to get it like how she would want it. So she would do the two strand twist to keep it like exactly how she would want
Wanna
it.
yeah.
And so she wear the two strand twist for like a week, 2 weeks to class, and I'm like, it's super cute.
Exactly. It is. And as I was telling people, like when I was that they have to take into consideration which way they want to start it. And I was saying that the coiling method does take a longer time to lock
Right,
compared to two strand twist because in the two strand twist, your hair is already raveled with each other, so it
right,
has no choice but to start forming together and lock up. Okay,
right.
so what is your you've only been locked for 5 months now, but do you have a maintenance routine or like what do you do to maintain your locks in the meantime? Do you go to somebody or are you doing it by yourself?
So I haven't even gotten a retwist. I'm gonna get a retwist for my 6 month. I've said that for sure.
Okay.
I'm my first retwist with a loctician, and then after that, moving forward, I'm gonna do it myself. Also, as far as maintenance, I've been watching a lot of videos, and they're like, don't put too much product in your hair. So I've been
Hmm.
like, when you just get something done, you're like, oh my god, you love it so much. So
Yeah.
like I play it all the time. I'm like always putting water on it, and I know I don't like the frizzy stage, but I love the frizzy stage. So I'm always spraying my water bottle with oil.
Okay.
So I have the oil. I use a little bit of coconut oil because I know it can be a little thick. I use olive oil and then hair tea tree oil. So
Okay.
I just put that in my water bottle and just spray it constantly.
Okay. Awesome. Number five question. Is there any particular products that you like? I know you just mentioned some of the products that you use, but is there any particular one that you like? Oh, this product is my go-to. I recommend it.
No, I'm still on the process of like searching again. I don't want to put too much in my hair just because people say it's build up,
Yeah.
and I don't want any like crazy stuff in my hair. I don't want the dandruff or like the build up. I've seen videos and it's not a pleasant like sight. So
Yeah, like
I
I seen
told
some people
myself,
that do like lock baths with their hair, like especially when they have longer ones, because so many, especially when it gets longer, so many things
yeah,
get built up on the just to the hair itself, like lint and different things get stuck in your. Like I remember 2 weeks ago, I did my brother's baby shower, and I was person cutting the cake, and I had cream in my hair, like buttercream, in the middle
that
of my hand, and I was like, I guess I wiped my hand and it got in my hair, but it was like it was so hard to try to take it out because like it's like your hair is like a sponge, it just
right.
or magnet, things just stick to it, and you have to, yeah. So I know the buildup can be annoying.
It is. It is. I haven't really. Well, I have. I wore a sweater, and I don't know how my locks are still short. So I was like, "There's no way," but there was a way.
So I have like my last and final question for you is, since you've been
Okay.
locked, what is a one pro and one con, or if you there's something you could tell to somebody who wants to start your locks from your experience, what would that be?
Okay. So the pro, I feel like would be more personalized or more towards that person because I can't tell anybody what the pro is. I just know that's a look that I've always wanted. I mean, I guess I could say the maintenance, like, you know, my hair's still pretty short and it's still like in the phase of starter locks,
Yeah.
but it gets to like you can just get up and go, like, and you rock it. You gotta worry about anything else. You don't have to worry about much. And then one thing I've realized too with locks is even if you don't get a fresh retwist, it still looks nice. You know,
Exactly.
you can still play with it. So versus braids. After a while, if you need a touch up, it's gonna look a little crazy.
It is.
So I would say that is a pro, I guess. But the pro again is really it's an individual thing. Like it goes back to your reasoning of why do you want locks. The con, I don't know. I guess they say when it gets super super long, you won't be able to wear like certain styles. But I'm not there yet, and I probably don't think I would care at that moment. So and then depending on the type of person you are, I know you can like let's say you were a person you were wearing like weave and braids and all of that. The attention you get from that is so different from the attention you get with locks, right? But again, it depends on the confidence of the person because I don't really care. So, but even I've spoken to some of my friends, they're like braids and locks will never like be weaves, and I'm like, wow, that's very ignorant,
That's
but
true. They will never get old or have be expired or um they will never go out of style. Like maybe the size, like I remember before people were doing the jumbo poetic justice braids, and now
yeah,
people are doing the what's those and the goddess braids came into style. So like so many like braids will always be a thing. Just depends on the style of braid that you have. I feel like the same
right,
thing with locks. I don't think locks could ever get old. It even got to the point where like I'm gonna have my I have two girls. I'm like their hair are gonna be locked because it's just so much easier to maintain. Like locks to me are just so much easier to maintain.
right.
Because when I had my afro hair, I got tired of finding ways to do things with my natural hair. But and also I think for me a con of locks is the growth. It grows so much quicker than your natural hair.
I
Uh,
agree, and I love it. I love it so much because my natural hair never grew. Like I felt like it was just,
it just stopped.
yeah, yeah. So I agree with that. That's something. Yeah, I forgot to say.
But thank you so much for just even being a sport. Like I said, this I was telling the viewers earlier. This we've been trying to do this for a while, and it's one thing or another. And that's the thing with technology; it has its
Right.
pros and its
Never know.
cons. But we made it work. But thank you so much for joining me, Victorimade. And I
Of
let the
course.
people know that they can subscribe to your channel and they can learn more about your journey too and what's been going on. But I want to appreciate you for always being a sport and
Of
enjoy
course.
the rest of your day.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Thank you so much for having me as well. I actually really enjoy talking about this. Like I don't talk because they don't care. So that's nice. It was nice. I'll say
All
it's
right,
gone a
take
lot
it there. Have a
better.
good one.
It would have been better, but
I
we'll go.
know. We'll figure it out. Like I said, I'll figure this live things another time, and then maybe when you reach your 1 year lock, we can do an update.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
All right, take care.
Bye. Have a
Bye.
good day.
All right, you guys, I've bored you enough. I hope I didn't bore you, but I hope you learned something from our discussion, and I hope I motivate. I know at least 3 people. I can say that I have motivated 3 wonderful, gorgeous women to start their lock journey, and 2 of them go to my loctician. So I feel great that I'm inspiring women to embrace their natural hair and embrace the lock game. So in honor of you guys. Thanks, want to thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I appreciate you. Thank you, Victoria and Made, for being a sport, enjoying, and I will see y'all soon. Toodles.